This is a SafeBuy module, a brand new product by Hale Class 1. It's a pre-engineered design unit by Class 1 Engineering and the fire department. It's designed to make the pump, the system, to be the safest possible product for the fire department that it can possibly buy, hence SafeBuy. There are a variety of different things that we use on this to make it a safe buy, starting with the TPG. TPG means total pressure governor, and it comes with an information system. We have pump intake, pump discharge, controls for the pressure up and down, an information center. The green lights here, we're operating perfectly. If there's a yellow light that comes on, we need to check a system, and if a red light comes on, then we know to shut down the entire system. Comes with color-coded gauges all the way across. So each gauge and each hose package here lines up with each other, color-coded, so the operator knows exactly which line that he's using, and the gauge is going to tell him exactly what his pressures are going out. So we have orange, red, blue, green, yellow, white, and finally a black over here for discharge 4. We have a tank fill here. We have a new mechanical gauge here, and we have an even flow across the board here, and this will stop and hold its position. And with the arc in it, it gives you a mechanical advantage. The pump also has several MIVs. An MIV is called a master intake valve. We have those units down here. They have an air bleed off, electronic control, and wherever that valve is, there's a manual override in case the electronics should fail. We have one here, and one here. This one right here is to use for drafting, and it has an extra prime on it. That extra prime allows water to be filtered up to the valve with the butterfly on the valve closed. Once the water reaches the valve, we can be working off the tank water and make a switch over using this prime piece here. The base platform, which we designed the entire unit around, is called the QMax pump. This is the pump right here. The pump has 16 discharge ports that circumnavigate the pump. We have several on this side, several on this side, one here, one there, one there, one there, which circumnavigates the pump. Also, we have a large discharge port here, which will flow the capacity of the pump. The capacity of the pump with this gearbox here, which is called the K gearbox, is approximately 2,800 gallons from draft. Gives an incredible amount of flow downstream. The port next to it, which is port R, also has a high flow, and it's a 3-inch valve, and it allows for 1,500 gallons a minute of flow. Here we've mounted a thermal relief valve. The thermal relief valve is a product designed to keep from overheating the pump. It's a mechanical device which, when the water temperature reaches 120 degrees Fahrenheit, this will activate. There's an electronic setup here that gives the pump operator a red warning light on the pump panel that indicates that the pump is overheating. At the same time that starts, we have a mechanical piece here that we have a line that goes back to the tank and dumps hot water into the tank. When the operator sees that red light coming on, what he'll do then is he'll open up his tank recirculating line, which is this device right here, recirculate water through the pump, and he'll open up his tank to pump line, so you have a circulation of water coming through. So the hot water leaves the upper part of the pump, the cool water comes back in. Once the cool water comes back in, this device will shut off and you go back to normal operations. The next device we have on the pump is a device called an anode. And the anode is, we have 3 of them on the pump. One here, one down below, and one over here on the front side of the pump. Those devices are to keep the pump from corroding. A lot of different types of water throughout the country can corrode the pump. The pump is made out of cast iron, and if we do not have anodes on the pump, then there's a possibility that the pump will corrode and actually destroy the pump itself. So we put 3 anodes on, and we have an anode minder. So the operator of the pump can check this out daily. And if the light up here is flashing green, the anode is fine. And if you look here, we've got it set up to show green, and all of a sudden it will flash red. If that anode 2 and anode 3 flash red, the pump then would go back to maintenance. They would change out the anodes, put new ones in, put it back in service, and resume operation. The pump is driven by a new gearbox. The gearbox is called the K gearbox. The K gearbox creates 18,500 pounds of torque. It has a helical gear system in it that delivers smooth transition of power from the motor and transmission into the pump transmission. It also has a very robust shifting system down in here called the VPS shifting system, or vacuum pressure system. We also have an anti-hot shift system devised into the pump so that the operator, when he shifts the pump in the cab, cannot pull the shifting rod too fast, which will cause the pump to jump out of gear or not go into gear or grind the gears. So that anti-hot shifting is a new system on there, which is very, very important to the life of the pump. This is the officer side of the truck, or the right-hand side of the truck, and this is where we operate our large diameter hose from. This is port P, and this is port R. Port P, with a 4-inch valve on it and a 5-inch stores, can deliver flows of over 2,600 with the G gearbox and over 2,800 with the K box. Port R has got a 3-inch valve on it, full flow, and this valve will deliver 1,500 gallons a minute. We call this the business side of the pump. These two valves here will deliver complete capacity of the pump. The capacity of the pump is somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,000 GPM, depending upon your drafting site or your water supply through a hydrant. On the front side of the pump, behind the cab, we have mounted a manifold system here. This manifold system is set up to deliver Class A foam. The Class A foam system sits right here. The lines for it come down here in this manner. Water comes out of here, comes across this pipe, across the flow meter, and right here is where we induce the foam. The foam and water mix at this point and go to these 3 lines here, 2 3/4, 1 2.5, and it will deliver foam and water solution into those lines, and we can dispense Class A foam through that system. This is our foam system called the Foam Logic. This is a 5.0 foam system which hooks to this manifold system. Included in our SafeBuy system, we have formed a team with task force tips, and they have put on several of their devices to help facilitate the flow out of the pump. On the top of the pump is the monsoon monitor, which has what we call an extended gun. The gun will raise up and it'll do a 360 flow completely around the truck, so it doesn't matter where we position the unit will be able to flow water to the fire. And on this side, the large diameter hose devices that we have are also task force tips. And if we're in a drafting set of circumstances, we can use this outboard intake relief valve, bringing the water up through the pipe here, and a low-level strainer, which we have here on the ground. Hale Class 1 and Task Force tips are so confident that this product will work correctly that we're willing to offer an 8-year warranty on the pump and gearbox. 8-year warranty includes parts and labor.